So today we have the honor and privilege of not only speaking with a, I want to say, good friend, but also protege, somebody that I also look up to as well in the business world. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce himself.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Eric. I'm a personal
Camera
trainer
right there.
at Unique Fitness. It's crazy, there's like multiple
I know, yeah.
cameras to look at.
All the angles now, it's nice. So hold wait, actually, wait, I'm gonna give you a better one. This is what we
Yeah,
do here at this podcast now. Ready? Boom. Oh, don't you son of a bitch. There you go.
there we
Boom.
go. Now
Now
I
you
can
can
see
look right into
myself.
that camera. I'm right.
What's up, guys? My name is Eric. I'm a trainer at Unique Fitness along with Tim. Tim is a
Here.
really good friend of mine, and he is somewhat of like I would call you like Sensei Tim. You're
Sensei.
You're my mentor in like mace training, kettlebell training, and overall, Tim has just like changed my mindset completely on the way I approach fitness. The way I approach fitness has changed a lot since I met this guy like
I
5, 6 months
appreciate that.
ago.
I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, a guy I look up to very much, and a guy who I'm excited to do big things with in the future.
See, didn't have to go fucking fluttering me up that much,
Yeah,
but I appreciate all that shit. Okay.
it's for real though, for
Nah,
real.
I still appreciate that. Well, you put in the work, so
Hmm.
it's not like you're half-assing half the things I teach you. Like you put in all the fucking work that I put in as well.
Hmm.
So it's not like I'm wasting my time with it. So it's more than an honor to fucking have you guys like little pupil over here.
Hell yeah.
So also explain to the people how old are you again?
I just turned 23 a couple of days ago.
So 23, and you happen to own your own business.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about it.
So my business is base supplements. You want to change the camera one more time?
Oh, yeah, I got you. Oh,
Let's go.
zoom in. Yeah, I got you. And boom.
So my business is base supplements. We are a holistic health company focused on changing the landscape of the supplement industry in fitness. So there's a lot of bullshit out there with all of the chemical concoction pre-workouts, like a lot of this stuff that's just marketed to make you feel good short term, but not really benefit your body in the long term, which is something that I know you are very focused on as well.
Mhm.
Um, there's a lot of people that approach fitness in a way where it's like, I just want to look good. I want to be the biggest guy in the room. Uh, but then people forget the other aspects of like flexibility, approaching fitness in like the long term, saying the difference between being the biggest guy and saying that I want my body to be like a well-oiled machine. I want to take myself into my older age and be able to touch my toes when I'm 60 years old, or be able to use the bathroom when I'm like 70, 80
Yeah, just
years
be the
old
neatest
too.
ever constant wiping your own ass.
Yeah, literally. So I know we have a similar mindset in the way that we approach that aspect, but that's what the main goal of base supplements is. So the main supplement that we focus on right now is called Shilajit. Shilajit is basically this black tar that comes from the Altai Mountain region. It is rich in enzymes, vitamins, minerals, and the main ingredient in it is called fulvic acid. Fulvic acid is amazing for you. It's literally like a god tier supplement. So it improves your memory, improves your collagen production. For us dudes, it helps increase our testosterone. For women, it helps balance their hormone levels, their estrogen, progesterone levels. Overall, just a great supplement to be taking long term. And right now, that's where base supplements is at. So if you're interested in trying Shilajit, DM me on Instagram, Erik Jasper Kier, and definitely keep up with us on Instagram at base supplements as well.
So I'm very picky, obviously, with what I take.
Hmm.
And when relatively almost about 2 months ago now, I started taking the full like every day, 2 times a day, and the benefits have been amazing.
They're
Not
crazy.
yeah, it's not even something like you don't notice right away. Like over time, like the first like week, by the end of the first week, you start to feel like a little more cognitively clear.
Hmm.
Then you start to notice, oh shit, I'm starting to see a few more veins in my body later on. Like the guys, especially testosterone, there are a couple of things you wake up with that a little bit of a kickstand that comes a little bit extra heavy sometimes.
Hmm.
Like it's definitely the most, I want to say, natural testosterone enhancer that I've come across. Next to only other thing I could ever compare this to is testosterone, but testosterone has also different types of forms.
I've also taken turkesterone in the past.
So what I'd see the benefits of this and faster, and it's
Hmm.
also I mean, if you get past the taste too,
Yeah.
that's it. That's
The taste is the one drawback to Shilajit.
Ooh. So I have to get it down fast. It's just like I take the two, I put it in my mouth, and
Uh-huh.
that's it. It goes down right. It goes. I swallow them down. I tried to do the bottle, just like dissolve in it and drink it down.
Hmm.
It's
Some people can handle it, some people can't.
you're a god for being able to
Yeah.
handle that, but I'm
For
not
me,
surprised.
like I've just taken it for so long. I've taken it for 2 years, and the taste I've kind of adapted to because I know the benefits that it gives me in the long run. So I'm like, this taste literally just tastes like future success and like
It's like power.
yeah,
Yeah,
power. It tastes
yeah.
like power.
Well, I mean, not yeah. It has a very. There's no even really distinctive taste. Like for anyone who's like ever taken supplements or multiple different vitamins, there's no distinctive taste that you can compare this to. It just tastes like
Mm,
Shilajit. Like there's no other way I could ever like pronounce it. Like there's no other way I could ever say that it tastes like anything or in comparison to anything else. Results though,
hmm.
same factor. It's not like I can compare it to anything else.
Yeah.
It's a fast acting natural product that everybody, men and women, need to be on.
I think every single person should be on it. It is something that fills in so many gaps in your diet. And I mean, the hormonal benefits are important in and of themselves. Like people don't realize how important hormones are to your well-being and like your body function and everything, men and women.
Yeah.
Uh, like in the past, I have not been on this like biohacking wave. And before I was on it, I felt my low testosterone. It was way, way different the way I felt day to day. And I'm sure you've had those
Oh
experiences
yeah.
too, like those bouts of like low testosterone that you feel. You just feel like weak and like, I don't know, it just like affects your confidence. It affects like the way you operate in the gym. Like testosterone is such an important molecule for being like a well-rounded man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in a day where a lot of the food is genetically modified, and then a lot of the things that we eat or drink in general
Hmm.
is all chemically enhanced, it throws off our hormones, it throws off our
Yep.
metabolism, throws off everything in the body. It to create these genetic growth effects,
Hmm.
uh, people developing cancers and people developing diabetes earlier
Yep.
also in life.
That's why I only eat 100% organic food, everything from Whole Foods, and I also drink spring water.
And not to mention also aquabolics water. That's
Hmm.
I fucking forgot my jug at the actual facility,
Oh,
which
did
I'm
you?
pissed about that shit. So
No,
I'd
that
have to
thing goes with
trip it
you
down the gym.
everywhere, bro.
Literally, I have it with me everywhere. Anyone who's like the last like 2 months or so has seen me in person, has seen me carry around this jug. The kind folks over at Cannabolics have also now established a true 9.5 alkaline system that we have at the shop itself over in Holtzville. And basically, if you're a similar type idea to if you're familiar with Fountain, Fountain is another place where you can get alkaline water from a fountain that disperses it. But uh, we do it a little bit more. I want to say in a more cost-effective manner for people,
Hmm.
and then it's also a tie-in with Cannabolics as well because
Yeah,
then when people get a water membership, you also do get a 20% off, guarantee with any product on the website or in the store as well.
nice.
But yeah, that water, since changing up just even drinking water also
Hmm.
as well, that's another point. It's insane between your skin, between how healthy your hair looks,
Hmm.
between the metabolism, just in general, actually having like 9.5 alkaline water versus just bottled water where it's natural, where it's neutral, like at the 7 point
Hmm.
range, or even like 90% of the bottled water that's out there where it's ranging between a 3 to a 4 on the pH scale,
Which
which
is
is
like
acidic.
horrible,
Yeah,
like
it's
horribly
acidic water.
acidic. That's
It's horrible.
horrible for your body.
And especially companies like Dasani where they have
Hmm.
sodium in its water.
Yeah, sodium is literally an addictive chemical. Like
It is made
people,
by Coca-Cola, so
yeah.
it's two and two Coke.
So if you're drinking Dasani water, you're not hydrating yourself properly. You are actually making yourself more thirsty
Yeah,
because of the amount of sodium in it.
yeah.
Even like all like not I mean, fuck Coca-Cola. Like I'll
Well,
bash
that's why it's
Coca-Cola.
also
Like,
sold all over the stadiums, the concerts. That's why
yeah.
Dasani is sold everywhere because it's addictive. It's
Hmm.
it's not addicting to drink water, but Dasani has that sodium level in there where it's going to make you more thirsty, so they're going
Yeah.
to force you to buy more water. It's fucking genius marketing tactics,
I mean it is
but
genius, but
it's a fucking
yeah,
fuck
it's
you to our
horrible.
health
Yeah,
system.
literal fuck you to our health system. It's horrible.
All these companies, it's coming from the business mentality. they're genius ways of marketing. Like, never to take this away from that part of them. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
fucking brilliant what they've been able to do to the public.
Yeah.
But it's also been detrimental to the health, the mental well-beings, the actual public outcry of
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck is going on with us in general. It all goes back to what we put in our bodies, the food and access to actual good food. And that's
Yeah.
the other thing that a lot of people don't talk about is a lot of areas in lower income communities don't have access to that kind of food. So what do you see promoted in that area more?
Yeah.
More diabetes, fucking heart problems, cholesterol
Because
issues.
it's so expensive to eat healthy nowadays, which really is
It shouldn't be.
backwards as hell.
It shouldn't be
It's
because you can
extremely
grow it in your
backwards.
backyard.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
So I went to Whole Foods this morning to buy my meal prep, and I only buy like 100% grass-fed organic beef, 100% like organic white rice. Everything is organic, my eggs and everything. I bought probably 7 days worth of food, and it cost me $200.
Eesh.
Yeah, 7 days
Bro,
worth of grocery shopping, buying like optimized foods, to over $200 is crazy.
$200 just to eat clean and eat good.
Hmm. But at the end of the day, like I would rather spend that money than succumb to just eating like regular ass food because that's an investment in my health. And I know that that is going to return me tenfold in everything that I do throughout my life. Business, work, everything else is going to improve because I focus on keeping my health in check.
That's a bar to have.
Yeah.
That literally is a detrimental bar for a lot of people out there who
Hmm.
don't understand the value of consistency. Not just
Yes.
consistency of, you know, going to the gym, consistency eating clean.
Hmm.
That's step one before you even do anything else.
Yep.
If you can't get to the point of eating better for your body, everything else just comes to shit because what if you don't value yourself, what do you truly value?
Hmm. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you want to be successful in your business, if you want to be successful at work, you have to treat yourself like how a successful person would treat their body. You have to, if you want to be that person that you want to be, if you want to treat yourself like a king, if you want to be a prince, you have to treat yourself like a king. You have to exercise like a king. You have to eat like a king. You have to educate yourself like a king. And that's literally what I have written on the whiteboard in my room. I look at that every day and I say, I have to treat myself like a king in every single facet of my life so that everything can move in accordance towards that direction that I want to be going in.
So nobody treating you like you treat yourself like the king.
Yeah. I don't need anyone to treat me like a king. I need to treat myself like a king, and everything on the outside will manifest because what I keep internally, what I treat myself with internally is how the external is going to manifest for me, not only me, but for anyone out there that's watching this.
Fucking bard.
Yeah.
Fucking bard. That is such a crucial point because that shows the true value in yourself, though. And that's
Yes.
where a lot of people lack nowadays because people are too committed to this perfect image. But
Hmm.
reality, there's no perfect image. And they want that perfect image so they can be treated like royalty. They can be treated like kings. They can be treated like queens. If you start, what's the point if you're not treating yourself like that first?
Yeah.
If you're not treating yourself like the king or queen, why do you deserve to be worshipped?
Hmm. It's all like everyone is stuck in the external game of just like putting on the face of what people they want other people to perceive about themselves, but no one feels good like internally, you know?
Yeah.
And like what's really going to transform you, transform your life, your business, your health is really just treating yourself right before anything else.
Another one. It and that's another one I didn't learn really until I was about 26 or so.
Hmm.
And the fact that it took me till I was 26 is pretty, you know, sad because I know, but there's also people who wait into their 40s and 50s they don't learn. You have to really learn that the love for yourself has to come first before you even get involved into a relationship, before you even get involved in a business relationship, before you get involved with anything. You have to really learn that value of loving yourself because once you learn that full value, you are your own rock. You don't become
Hmm.
reliant on anybody else. Your goal is to be the person that you always needed when you were growing up, no matter what. In any scenario, regardless if you had the perfect fucking childhood growing up,
Yeah.
there's some way that there's something that you can benefit from that you need to be what you needed when you were growing up.
Hmm.
Not everyone has the perfect life, but you can create the whole.
All right, guys. So real quick, we're going to talk a little bit about your next protein purchase, which is going to be the Jocko Milk. So you're going to go to originmain.com. You're going to use promo code Welsh10, WELSH10 at checkout for 10% off your order. You're going to order yourself some Jocko Milk, and you're going to save yourself some money at the end of the day. If you find that you're buying yourself probiotics, digestive enzymes, essential amino acids, aka EAAs, or protein powder, and you're buying all that separately, and if you're buying at a high quality rate, chances are you're probably spending anywhere between $120 to $200. Jocko Milk only costs $44.95 at originmain.com. And then if you use my code, like I said earlier, Welsh10, WELSH10, for 10% off your order at checkout, you can save yourself 10% off on top of getting yourself the best tasting and the best quality protein that's on the market. Thank you guys for watching the episode. Hope you have a great one.
A different outlook once you start really loving on yourself.
Mm.
And when you fully commit to loving yourself is when you start to really see the other doorways open up, is when other opportunities start to come your way, is when you start to show that you're not a miserable piece of shit and you're not holding everybody else accountable, but you're not holding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's another part of self-love that people don't want to go through, is that self-accountability.
Yeah.
Holding yourself accountable and staying disciplined.
And I'm really glad you said that, because I know we can relate a lot on this topic, even though like we haven't talked about this much like outside of the podcast right now. I'm gonna get like super a little bit more deep than
Here we go.
we've gotten in the past. Is that the whole like self-love aspect and like putting yourself first. I spent like my entire college years just like drinking, and I knew I was in a fraternity, and I ended up becoming like the president of my fraternity the last like two years of my time in college. And by the end of it, I was so just like I had the realization that yes, this might have been fun in the first like 2 years of college, but uh like at the point where I was at by the time I was in my junior year, senior year, I was just so fed up. I knew that's not where I needed to be, but I still continued to drink. I continued to go out, try to put like the face on for other people.
It's the
And
environment you're around.
yeah, the environment. And it like if that's your life right now, it will like destroy you in the end. I was very, very unhappy by the time I was out of college, to the point where I ended up wanting to leave early. So I graduated a semester early. Um, Not that I don't love the people in my fraternity, not that I don't love all my brothers. It's just like I knew it's not where I wanted to be myself. And I just kept up with the face for too long. And at one point I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I need to get out of this. And then that like fast forward to now, this is my first year kind of like figuring out my life, starting my business, working the job at Unique. And I'm a lot happier with where I'm at now. Even though I don't like have as many friends, my circle is smaller. Like I'm much more satisfied with where I'm at now. Treating myself right, treating my like taking my health seriously, like taking my finances seriously and stuff. Yeah, it's a
I
I'm in
mean,
a much better place.
I mean, that one. That's fucking awesome to hear. Just because it's that's something else that we definitely can fully relate to. Just because I literally went through that not that long ago with a friend circle as well.
Mm-hmm.
It comes when when you are fed up with the bullshit, when you become officially done with this party mentality, this I gotta get fucked up to have a good time mentality.
Yeah, it's
This
unsustainable.
no, it's not at all.
Yeah,
There's nothing I fucking hated more than waking up the next day, not only because I was so hungover, but because also having depression already, it made it easier to have heavier episodes because of how much of a depressant alcohol really is. When you have these episodes, especially with depression, the last thing you need to be fucking doing is drinking and going out and partying. You need to get your ass to therapy and start fucking doing a little bit more working out. Those are the better things to do to cope with versus just downing a fucking bottle a night.
and that's exactly what I did for a good year and a half, 2 years. Is like I knew I didn't want to do it, but it was like, fuck. I mean, I guess I'll drink because it'll just take the pain away for at least a night, and then you wake up the next morning and you're like, damn, I really fucking wish I felt good today. I wish I felt good enough to go to the gym. I wish I felt good enough to work on my business. I wish I felt good enough to communicate better with my clients. Like, you're hindering yourself not only for that night, but also for, it might be a day, 2 days, 3 days sometimes where you just feel like shit afterwards.
And all that time that you could be spent, all the money that you could be spending also going out, spending on, you know, countless drinks, spending it on people that you're not going to see in the next couple of years, spending it on just a blurred night that you have no recollection of other than when you first started. It's a waste of, me personally, not to shit on the going out culture, but I'm going to shit on the going out culture, especially if you're somebody our age who is hustling, wanting to get, you know, shit done with their lives, wanting to set the example, wanting to actually be better for themselves, but are not putting in enough work or not even committed to skipping a weekend out or skipping a month of going out to really commit towards your goals, commit towards what you want to do. It's, personally, in my eyes, it's pathetic because you are holding yourself back and you know that you could set yourself up for defeat. Fuck going out when you're 20 and 30. I'd rather be in my 40s and 50s, fully retired, fully enjoying my life, and then enjoying my drinks and partying and going out. Because guess what? Next day, guess what? I could do it all over again and not have to worry about the damn thing.
Yeah, using it as, like, it's the difference between using it as a way to recruit yourself versus using it as a way to cope. There's a huge difference between that. A lot of people, especially our age nowadays, are using it to cope. No one's going out to drink with their friends to reward themselves on reaching a goal that they reached in their business or hitting a goal that they reached, like, I don't know, in their health too. Like, it's like a huge difference between using it to cope and using it to reward yourself.
See, a Ti not that long ago, actually, there's very not that many things I agree with the man, but the rapper Ti, he posted a video, and it stuck with me that, what are you celebrating?
Yeah.
Like, everyone is drinking all this alcohol, spending all this money on alcohol, going out partying, and smoking all this weed and doing. What are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? Like, what have you done to celebrate these rewards? They're not rewards in the sense of, oh, we just got through the work week. Woo! No. Getting through the work week is just getting through the fucking work week. That's not a reward. You got through the fucking work week.
Yeah.
Did you make a big sale? Did you fucking make a step towards your retirement? Did you make a step towards your major goal? Did you make a major step towards it? No? Then what the fuck are we celebrating for?
Yeah, if you're celebrating the work week and the workplace is something that you complain about every week, then you're celebrating nothing. Like, you're literally celebrating your demise. You're celebrating, like, your
liver. You're celebrating your liver going into what the fuck is he doing to me? You're celebrating all the empty calories you're consuming. You're celebrating all the fucking work that you just worked off. All the especially my favorite, all the work that you put in the fucking gym for that week just to blow it off for those 3 days, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, binge drinking and fucking eating whatever you want. Guess what? You took one step forward and another 30 steps fucking backwards. Pisses me off with that shit, just because the amount of times I've had people try to work with me, but then I call out their bullshit. I'm not like other trainers. I'm sorry. I don't work with just everybody. I work with people who actually want to see results. I work with people who are going to put the work in, both in and outside the gym, not just show up for 2 times a week for training and then that's it. You're not going to see anything like that whatsoever.
Yeah, and I know I'm new to the personal training space as well, but just over the past few months, like, my mindset on the people that I want to be training has changed drastically, because you see the difference between the people that actually want to make a change and put the work in themselves outside the gym, because there's only so much we can do besides coach them on what they should be doing. But the people that actually want to put in the work are the more fulfilling people to coach. And then the people who don't put in the work and the people that lie about putting in the work, you could tell in 2 seconds that they're not actually doing the shit that you're telling them to do. It's crazy.
And it could be as simple as just give me on your off days. Don't even make it to the gym. give me 10 push-ups or crawl out and give me an hour worth of basic body work exercises. Not even hard shit like crawl outs. People hate the crawl out exercise so much, and I can't say I'm a fan of it either, but it's a very effective exercise. If you do 5 rounds of 12 crawl outs, you're gonna be pretty gassed out, and it's a pretty good core workout, and you get it done under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Basic stuff, especially if you're looking to build a regime. You can't just expect major results by doing the bare minimum. It sucks.
Yeah.
But if you got it, if, for example, a lot of my clientele are focused on mobility and focused on being able to actually live a healthier lifestyle versus just looking good in the gym. I train my clients for life. I don't train my clients just to train and look good. I train them to actually be able to pick up a case of water from the ground up.
Very, very admirable thing, because a lot of trainers just train their clients to look good.
Yeah, but there's no true value in it.
Yeah.
When you actually build that value of making sure that they can live a healthier lifestyle outside of the gym or just outside in general, like I will use this example again. My client Betty Ann, I worked with her for a year, and she, in the first 6 months, she was never able to really pick up a case of water from the bottom shelf of Costco and put it in her cart. Not only was she doing that, she was doing 3 at a time, like not 3 not at once, but she was doing multiple reps of it because we focused on slam balls, we focused on stabilities, we focused on core work, we focused on literally real life tactics that you can benefit from versus these. Versus these.
Yeah, do the dumbbell girls. Do the,
my God, squats. Like, listen, I squat, yes, but then squat and do some fucking lunges with a kettlebell. Squat and do a fucking kettlebell snatch. Squat and do a slam ball. Like, don't just limit your body to the basic fucking movements. Your body has so many different muscles in your body for a reason. Use them all. Use them all to see max results.
And I know different people have different goals. And I mean, I have some clients that their goal is to just put on muscle. So yeah, if that's your goal, then that's what I'm going to do for you.
Yeah.
But other clients, the ones that actually want to like focus on their mobility and like fix things like outside of the gym, like actual daily life tasks, those are the more fulfilling transformations, in my opinion, that I've done for them. Like, for example, I want to give this example because it actually like made my heart super full when he said this to me. My client William, in the morning, he came to me and he couldn't barely dress himself in the morning. He barely could put his pants on in the morning. So we focused on a lot of core work, a lot of just stretch. This guy had not stretched a day in his life. He had the tightest legs I've ever worked with in my life. But we stretched every day for about two months straight. And he came to me the 3rd month, like literally like so emotional about it. And he was like, I could fly into my pants in the morning. I could literally like take my pants and jump into them. Like it's so crazy.
That's awesome.
Like, seeing the real life transformations that you make for these people, like where it actually affects their life in a really impactful way. Like those are the more fulfilling transformations that you make as a trainer.
And that's what makes a trainer last. They're all too often in this industry, trainers come and go just like that. In the short time of you coming to Unique, like you see firsthand, there are trainers who show up, and then there's trainers that just leave, that they can't handle it anymore. Sorry, this is an industry where, one, you actually do have to give a shit about your clientele. You actually do have to give a shit about their results. You actually do have to put in the extra work for them to maintain the results. Everybody can lose weight, everybody can put on muscle, but can you keep it? Can you keep it off?
Like those foundational habits that, I mean, this is a whole other story. Like foundational habits are what's actually going to change you as a person. Anyone could push themselves to get into the gym every day for 3 months straight and lose weight. But did you build the foundational habit where in the next 5, 10, 20 years, you're going to actually be able to maintain that without having to like, necessarily like think about it to an extent? Like you need to build those habits so that you could actually change your life moving forward. Anyone can make a little quick transformation like that. It's not hard.
No, I mean, your transformation is pretty incredible too. From
base supplements.
So that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. So
lifestyle. Let me change cameras over here. Listen, I don't got a fucking producer. I do this things on my own, so I can't just I have to actually pay attention. But with with base now starting to really take off, what is like the next goal for based in general?
I mean, the goal for base currently, I like to just like think about one goal at a time because that's how I segment myself moving forward. The goal currently is to really get as many people on this stuff as possible and get them off like the chemical concoctions that they're bombarding their bodies with. So the more people I could get to do that, and like I'm starting in like a closed environment, right? So I'm starting at Unique Fitness. I want to get as many people on it as possible so that we could start making a wave towards other gyms. Say, having people say like, this stuff actually works. This stuff changed the way I view my supplements, and I want you guys to try it too. So right now, the main goal is to get as many people on it as possible so that we could kind of start making this movement where people start getting off the bullshit and they start actually fueling their bodies properly with real life, real natural holistic health supplements.
Mm. See it. The, and the thing with the holistic, it's got such a bad rep over the last like 10 years because everybody came out with like holistic companies. It's like this is it there is it oh you got this, oh we have to try this. There's difference between holistic companies that actually work versus holistic that's just a marketing
For like
scam.
the marketing aspect of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to like bounce around all that stuff today because in every single industry, there's people taking advantage of these like little niches that they just turn into marketing schemes. Like the water, like Dasani water.
Yeah.
It's water, but you're drinking it and it's literally making you more thirsty. Like how fucking backwards is that? It's a whole fucking marketing scheme, bro. It's nuts. Like these big companies will take these niches and industries and completely just like turn them into money making schemes. Uh, and that's another thing in building business. You can't be focused on the money because if you're focused on the money, it will hinder your growth in the long term. The more focused you are in actually providing value, and the more you actually are passionate and love what you're doing, the more that you're going to grow and be successful. And that not only translates into a business like based like a supplement company, but even so, like we were talking before, like personal trainers. If personal trainers don't really take the time to learn more about the human body, to learn more about what they're actually doing for people, they're not going to last in the industry. So many personal trainers go in trying to book their entire week up with sessions saying like, oh, I need to get as many clients as possible so I can make the most money. But in the long term, are those trainers really taking the time to learn the proper things that they need to be teaching the people that they're training? Those are the trainers that actually are successful and in the long term. The people that take the time to actually learn what the fuck they're teaching these people.
Yeah, you're not just spewing something from a podcast, or you're not just spewing something from just write a textbook. Like you're actually taking the time to understand. There's difference between like just reading to just to pass a test versus actually reading and taking in the information and then using that information in real life tactics. Now, do I use everything from the fucking textbooks? Absolutely not. I wouldn't be swinging a mace if that was the case. But when you take that time to really listen in on your client also, you're able to not only help them physically, but mentally too. A lot of these clients, well, I won't say a lot of them, a good portion of the clients just need a good friend. Like they need somebody to push them because they don't have that type of person in their life. They don't have a friend. Yeah, you're like a great example for them because a lot of your clients probably look at you as like that main motivator. They look at you as like somebody who's going to make sure that they're getting there at they're going to get there to the gym. And it's very admirable because you're really taking on the positive trainer mentality at an earlier age. You're learning it so fast versus other trainers who are my age, who are 26 and about to be 27, and who are 27 to 30 or 30 to 33, and they have consistently they keep losing clients. They keep having to try and find new ones versus you being 23, right? You said, just turned 23, and your first personal training job, correct? Like
first personal training job. So I started working at Unique like 6 months ago, and I mean, I filled up my schedule pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, let me talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah.
So there's very few other people. There's very few people that can actually keep up with my work ethic. This motherfucker here, within the first like 2 weeks of him working, I was seeing him the same times I was coming in between 6 a.m. and all the way until 7, 8 o'clock p.m. That's the fucking worth ethic you need to have as a trainer to be a successful one. You need to be able to put in 10, 15-hour days. Yes, it sucks, but you're also living the fucking life that you dreamt of because you want to be a trainer. You want to be in the gym all day. You want to be around people who want to benefit themselves. Prime example of that shit right there.
So I put the work in. I mean, I put a lot of work in early on, and I filled up my schedule. I fully packed out my schedule within the first 2 months of me working there. And you could see a big difference between like me and a lot of other people that started around the same time as me is I have been able to retain pretty much every single one of my clients since the beginning. I haven't taken on many new clients
For 6 months. It's expensive to train at Unique Fitness. Let me say it's expensive to train at Unique Fitness.
It is very expensive to train at Unique Fitness, but you do, if you're paired up with the right person like me or Tim, you're getting a really good experience at the gym there.
You're showing the value, and that's the thing. It's not just the value in training; it's the value in actually having a coach, someone who is going to tell you everything that you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Are some of my clients my good friends? Yeah, over time we become good friends. But did it start out that way? Absolutely not. A lot of my clients almost hated a lot of the ways that I would call them out on their shit. But once they started to really get to know me, they saw that I'm not attacking them. I'm literally just trying to give them to the best selves.
You genuinely want to see them become the best person that you think they're capable of.
Exactly. Exactly. When you're somebody who actually gives a shit about people, you put people first, which is another trainer thing. That's something else we have to learn as well, is that we have to always find that time for ourselves. We have to make sure we put ourselves first also, as much as we put our clients first. That's a whole nother topic in itself. But when you actually put the effort and the work in, and you show the value in training, your clients will have no problem spending the kind of money that they have spent on you, because they look at it as an investment on themselves. And they're talking to a quality people. Like they're not only just benefiting them physically, but mentally also.
Yeah, as much as I am a trainer, like I'm also equally as much a friend to a lot of my clients. Like a lot of them, I just have genuinely great conversations with throughout the sessions that we have. We're training, yes, but I'm also there to make sure that they're doing well, that everything is like okay outside of the gym, and we just like chat it up, and we always have a good time. And I think that also contributes a lot to client retention, is actually just building really good relationships with your clients, not just having them come in for an hour saying, here, do this, and then, yep, see you next week. It's like you're sitting there having a great time with them, connecting with them, building that relationship. And yeah, it all ties into genuinely wanting to see them evolve and become a better person.
And that's the difference. That's the difference. That's the difference. The difference between what makes them stay versus what makes them leave. I've had clients over the last, 5 years of me personal training that I still work with online, just literally because they either moved or they can't afford certain training. So then I help them out in different ways. But I'm still getting messages from people who I don't work with anymore because they can't afford it. They literally hit me up saying, hey, so one client in particular, she actually moved down to Virginia, and there was something that she had sent me not that long ago, and I sent her back saying, what the fuck are we doing here? And immediately just like got it back on track, got it back into the whole actual outlook, not having to take so many fucking supplements. Like, you don't have to take all this creatine, you don't have to take all the citrulline, you don't have to take all this pre-workout, you don't have to see all that to see results. All you have to really do is eat clean, eat good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So real quick, we're going to take a break and talk a little bit about the sponsor of today's channel. Talk a little bit about the boys that are on my shirt here that I happen to do some work alongside, and that's with Cannabolics. It's also partially where I've been. So sorry for taking such a long hiatus, but it's been a very busy summer. But
Canabolics. Canabolics focuses on enhancing the performance of the human body. This is achieved by developing a unique line of products created specifically to help athletes maintain their balance throughout their body and mind. This allows them to recover, recharge, and stay a step ahead of the competition. They also provide plenty of education and information from cannabis to biohacks to keep their athletes at the top of their game. They have an assortment of products from hemp oil, body butter, soothing freeze gels, essential oils, CBD, CBN drops, and so much more. Especially for all those here in the legal states, you can get yourself a 1,000 milligram chocolate bar, or you can get yourself some THC droplets. You can get yourself some flour pre-rolled. And if you're here on Long Island, it is delivered next day to your front door. And you can also save yourself an additional 10% off when you use code Welshcare, WELSHCARE, Welshcare at checkout, and that'll save you 10% off your order. We're living in a whole new era, guys. We're living in the era where you can actually get the greens delivered to your front door the night the night after your order. Especially if you're on Long Island. We ship to everywhere else. So if you're over up in Canada, if you're down in Mexico, or if you're down, across the United States, by all means, we will still ship to you, but it won't be the next day. It's not gonna be at your front door. But by all means, if you're on Long Island, I encourage you, go to cannabolics.org/Welshcare. Use code Welshcare for 10% off. And let's get back to the episode with Vizo. Good.
Yeah.
Eat a lot. Not a lot. But eat about 2,000, 3,000 calories worth of food.
No supplement is going to transform you.
No.
What's going to transform you is having a good work ethic, working out hard every single day. Obviously getting your rest days in and eating clean. You have to just genuinely treat your body right in the core stuff before you go out and supplement with even Shilajit or any of the other.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to bring up too. Is I'm sure that you're not going to promote the Shilajit to somebody who just sits on their ass and does nothing all day because it's going to say show them results. It's something you also have to put in some work in as well. It's not just something where if you're munching on McDonald's all day long and you're sitting on your couch and you're just playing video games all day long.
It'll definitely make you feel better, but will it turn you into a jacked person? No. If you're sitting on your couch eating McDonald's, you can't expect to just take a couple pills and be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's unrealistic. You have to think I have to actually put in the work.
Yeah.
No matter what I take, nothing is going to turn me into the person that I want to become unless I put in the work.
Damn. And that goes for everything.
Yeah.
Not only just goes for the fitness aspect, that goes for just business, that goes for life, that goes for your relationships with friends. And with the whole business side of it, what made you start this?
So Shilajit is something that I have been personally consuming for 2 years. The reason that I got into it is because at the end, it was kind of the middle of COVID. It's kind of my transformation point. So at that point, I started taking my hormone health seriously, and no one really told me what Shilajit was. I went out and did my own research on it. So I found Shilajit, ashwagandha, another supplement that I take called pine pollen. I don't know if I've talked to you about that yet.
No, not yet.
I'll talk to you about that later. That's a whole different story. But when I started taking my hormone health seriously is when I actually started seeing these crazy transformations in my life. Like I said, putting your health first ties into everything, being successful in business, being successful in work, being successful in relationships. You have to take all of them together and run with all of them at the same time. So as soon as I started taking my health seriously, everything around me started becoming better. So during that time, also, when I started taking my hormone health seriously, started feeling more confident, was able to get more work done. During that time is when I actually started my first business, which was a resistance bands company. It's now closed, but the company was called High Phase Fitness. And during COVID, I was able to infiltrate that empty market because at the time all gyms closed, right?
Yeah.
So everyone was on the internet looking for a way to work out from home. So I was like, bang, because I took my health seriously, I was able to have a clear mind, get the idea of I'm going to sell resistance bands on the internet. I found this product where you were able to basically get an entire workout from the comfort of your home. It came with like a bench press bar. You were able to do bench presses with resistance bands. You were able to do like pullovers, like attach it to your door, do like triceps, everything from the comfort of your home with this resistance band set. I was making $10,000 a month
Wow.
during that time
Wow.
because there was just such an open market for people needing to get a workout done that I was like, all right, resistance bands. And because I took everything in my life seriously at that time, I was able to build a business that was netting me $10,000 a month. Granted, it only lasted a few months because that market was destroyed after gyms
opening up.
But that was my first real realization where it's like, damn, like because I was taking everything in my life seriously, I was able to spot opportunity and take advantage of that opportunity. And everything in my life grew at the same time, financially, health, like everything. It was crazy. That was one of the craziest points of my life.
Yeah, I mean, and at that age, you're what, 20? You're 21, 20, 20?
20.
Fucking 20 years old, making $10,000 a month. Dude, that's some shit. That is some shit. But
it was nuts.
But the fact that that little bit of success there, you were so all right. If I put in that much work just towards that, now imagine what I can do if I just did this instead. And now this.
So I became extremely passionate about this stuff because it optimized the way I felt. The way I felt was just second to no other way that I felt any other time in my life. Like I've tried so many different things to like make myself feel better. I tried eating like a vegan diet, eating like a carnivore diet, like whatever. Optimizing my hormone health was the biggest game changer ever for me. And it manifested into everything, obviously, like my mental well-being, my financial well-being, and also into my body too. Like this is the best I've ever looked in my life, and it's because I take my hormones seriously. I wouldn't say I train like extremely like a lot more than other people, but because I take my health and my body and my hormone health seriously, I'm able to maintain a physique that's pretty good compared to other people.
Pretty good. And you motherfucker, you're built like Hercules. I don't want to hear that shit. Fucking
but there's a
got
reason.
you swinging around that mace. Me and Mike Emil were actually just talking about you the other day. It's like seeing him now swing the kettlebells. Like he put so much muscle on in the gym aspect.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna shred the fuck up doing the kettlebells and maces, and the body, the physique that you're about to establish. I don't even think you're prepared for it, to be honest. Like we're really talking about it. I really don't even think you're prepared for to see the amount of success you're going to see with taking kettlebells and now mace like a little more serious.
Yeah.
It's going to be another transformation that you have never ever would have predicted just by doing regular weightlifting, because it's a certain physique that you can't access unless you have God-gifted genetics. Only way to access that physique is that you pumped up that muscle and then now you just shred the fuck out of it.
And I would not say that I have God-gifted genetics at all. And I attribute like 100% of my success in the gym to just like hormone health, just
and hard work,
hormone health, eating healthy, like all that. Like there's a reason I weigh 170 pounds and I'm able to push the same amount of weight that people like 20, 30, 40 pounds, people that have that weight on me are able to push. Like I am able to push a lot of weight because I take my body seriously.
And you take yourself serious, and that's why you're just overall you build up this successful foundation for yourself right now, between the training, between VIST, and then now between all the wise health. It all from taking yourself serious and from actually building up your own self-love for yourself. You've established multiple different successful routes already that I don't even know if you were fully aware about. Like it's just like that's the success that comes from taking yourself serious and from really putting the work in on not only just you physically, but emotionally and mentally.
Yeah, like we've said a million times, you take one part of your life seriously, all the other parts start to fit in exactly where you're taking other parts of your life seriously. Health, business, fitness, everything. You have to take it all seriously. You can't just push one to the side and say, I'll go to the gym, but I will eat like McDonald's like a few days a week. Like, no, you have to take every part of your life seriously, and that's how you progress as a person.
No,
And
no,
then
they also
everything
get
comes-
more expensive now. Like the McDonald's dollar menu is gone.
Oh,
So
really?
like there's
I
no
wouldn't know.
there's
I've
no even
never
dollar
really-
menu. I was on my way home and I had a phone call from my mother to pick her up some fries on the way home. Thinking, all right, dollar small. It's almost $2 for a small fry now, and then
Yeah.
there's no dollar menu in general. There's no like growing up when we had the dollar menu, we had a dollar. I would spend no more than like $3 or $5, and I would get a whole plate full of shit. Now that's just one sandwich.
That's inflation for you.
That's insane. It's fucking insane. But going back, yeah, I'm sorry, but that was just like something that blew my fucking mind. It's like it's now it's even more expensive to eat unhealthy now.
I mean, yeah. If it's expensive to eat unhealthy, just eat healthy. Just spend the $200 at Whole Foods. and
Yeah,
get
versus the
yourself
$200 you're gonna spend in one night on your family dinner at fucking
Oh yeah.
at ShopRite. I'm not at McDonald's.
Or the $200 you're gonna spend at Dublin Deck or James
Oh my
Joyce. or
god!
whatever.
How much? When I hear some of the stories about some of these people who are they're spending that kind of money, like $200, $300, $400, $500, $1,000 on a night out.
Yeah.
What?
That money is way better spent invested into your health or invested
Invested in your health, or yeah, invested health, business, or just invested in general, like just putting that money into businesses, putting that money into stocks, like the amount of money I've been able to put into my stock portfolio versus when I was going out. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
And especially right now, I'm not telling you people what to do. So I'm not your financial advisors. But with a lot of the dips that are going on right now in the market, this is the best time to be fucking buying out a lot of the stuff. A lot of the stocks, like Amazon was at a 90.
Yeah, we're gonna face a big recession soon, so it's gonna be a really good time to build long-term wealth.
Amazon, if Ian the Master Investor has hit every nail on the head so far, it's going to be terrifying for most, but if you're prepared, you're going to thrive. And that's another thing we're talking about, preparation.
Yeah.
Is that you've built this layer of preparation for yourself to have that fallback just in case, no matter what. If this doesn't happen, guess what? I could do something else with it.
Mhm.
Now that band business closed, I have this idea. I have this motivation towards it. I know what I can do. I'm gonna take that and I'll go towards here.
Well, that's what being an entrepreneur is. You just have to be able to spot opportunity and take advantage of it at all times. And if your brain is not in the right state to be able to think clearly to spot those opportunities, then you're doing a hindrance to yourself. And that's where taking your health seriously also comes back in. Being a successful entrepreneur entails that you need to just be on your toes thinking at all times. So say this supplement company goes down for whatever reason, which it's not going to because I'm putting like my full 110% effort into it. Say it goes down, oh well, it's on to the next. Like life still goes on. I have to be able to spot that next opportunity. You just have to be on your toes at all times. That's what being like a good entrepreneur is. You can't be reliant on one thing because life moves way too fast. Markets change so fast, like industries change so fast. If you're going to be a person that's in charge of your own income, you have to be able to adapt to the changing times.
Adapt. And that's the fucking key word right there. That's the money word right there. Adapt. Being able to a lot of these companies who don't promote on social media, who don't have an Instagram page, who don't even have a fucking website.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect them to
if you don't have a website and you have a business in this day and age, like what are you doing?
or even
I
an
don't know what
Amazon
you're doing.
account, like an Amazon store or something?
Yeah.
Like you don't have something at all towards that, and you're expecting your business to fucking thrive?
And if you're not well versed on making a website, if you're not well versed on social media, then find a mentor that's in doing the stuff that you want to be able to get yourself into. Like a lot of times you can't figure shit out by yourself, and that's where getting a mentor falls into place in your life. Like even for example, me learning these the maces and learning all this kettlebell work, like I could go and try to learn it by myself, but I see Tim doing it all the time in the gym and he's a fucking beast at it, and he's probably the best person I've seen doing it at Unique. Like why not befriend Tim and have him be my mentor in kettlebells and mace training? Like
It's been an honor.
Yeah. Like you have to find people doing the things that you want to do in your life, and you have to just create those relationships because those are what's going to benefit you and also them.
It's talking to people who are doing better than you, not people who are doing worse than you. The
Yeah.
people who are doing worse than you just do nothing but gossip and talk about what's going on in today's pop culture.
Mhm.
People who are doing better than you are actually putting in the work, talking to other people who are doing better than them, and then taking the gems from them and then moving on forward with their success.
It's like surrounding yourself with, like, if you're in a room full of people that you're hanging out with, you want to be the least, well, depending on your goals, like if you're trying to make money and you're in a room full of people that you're networking with, you have to be the one with the least amount of money. You have to be able to look at other people and say, damn, he's doing something better than I am, or he's doing something right. I need to be able to learn from that guy over there.
I have a goal every day to at least reach out to 5 people that are doing better than me, that I can talk to firsthand just to get a gem of information from
That's a
them.
good goal because I literally do like very similar stuff. Like I'm constantly reaching out to people who are doing better than me in like the e-commerce space, or doing better than me in like crypto investing, which is something I did like a few months ago. Obviously doing better than me in training with kettlebells and maces and stuff like that. That's stuff I want to learn. So I'm going to seek someone who's doing better than me.
And that's separating your
so I can
ego.
learn. Yeah.
That's separating ego from actually wanting to learn and be educated about what you want to then pursue. Like it's very easy. Like, how many people do you see coaching kettlebells, but they are squatting when they swing? They look just like how when we first look back in January for my very first kettlebell swings. I'm sorry, not even that. December 2 years ago was the very first video I have, I believe, on the Instagram, where it's like my very first kettlebell swings. Holy shit. It's just like it shows if you really want to learn something, you can learn it fast. Like I only really got good with kettlebells in January. Like I started this in January. We're now in November, 11 months. And even after a month of having to take off because of the fucking bum knee,
Yeah.
I was still able to then pursue things that certain presses, certain swings, certain motions, certain things with kettlebells. Like if I couldn't swing heavy, I could at least do I guess do certain motions that can at least benefit other parts of my body. I put the effort into learning it. And if you see the video somewhere, it's there now, well, where I'm at now versus where I was, it just shows that work. And for yourself too, you show the videos where you're at literally just a couple months ago versus where you're at right now. Like you talked about the mobility aspect of it as
And
well.
even the way I feel, like in the gym the other day, I was showing Tim, I was like, holy shit, the flexibility and like mobility in my arms now is just like crazy, like night and day compared to when I started the mace training. It's like I wasn't able to like stretch my arms like all the way back like this, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
crucial. It's being
the-
able to just do this because then you scratch your own ass and you don't have to worry about not being able to wipe your own ass when you're grown up.
the type of mobility that training gives you is crazy, and it's just like so different. I've never really thought about fitness that way until I saw like you and other people training like that. Even like the flexibility aspect. Like I used to just want to be the biggest meatball in the gym,
Yeah,
and now
like most men, most
Yeah.
men want to be the biggest lug that people look at.
yeah. But I mean, I still want to be like in shape in that way, but also in shape in the sense that I'm flexible. I could actually move weight around like functionally. It's just like the idea of becoming a well-oiled machine rather than a meatball.
And being able to touch your toes, being able to just do the bare minimum of even just getting up off the ground without having to use your hands. Things like that. Because God forbid, especially we're in the winter months, somewhat winter months now, with the way the weather feels outside.
It's like 70 today.
Yeah,
It's
it's insane.
I feel like the summer never ended.
Dude,
It's
I feel like it's
still
spring.
summer.
I feel like we're coming out of our winter and we're going into spring. Like that's what it feels like right now.
Yeah.
But like especially when the ice comes out and the black ice and you slip up, you break your arms, you want to be able to get up. You want to be able to not have to rely on just your arms, rely on your core, rely on just you to just stand up. Am I thinking worst case scenario? Absolutely. But in life, certain things you have to think worst case scenario. Like God forbid you're hanging off a cliff. You're hanging off your house. You're hanging up Christmas decorations or you're fixing a roof and you're literally hanging. You want to be able to pull yourself up and get yourself off. You don't want to be able to just sit there like, shit, I'm stuck and have to wait for somebody to come save you or fall to your death.
Yeah.
You know, it's things like that. It's like, do I think a little more drastic? Yes, but I think drastic for good reason. Sucks. Sucks thinking that way sometimes because then my anxiety goes on in the middle of my fucking training episodes. But then I come back to it and it's like, okay, I'm not actually on a mountain. I'm home. I'm here. But outside of, I want to say, base, and is there any other not products, any other promotions that you're working with right now that we need to be aware about?
I mean, in terms of promotions, the only thing I want to be promoting at this point is myself. So I want to be a successful businessman. I want to be a successful entrepreneur. The only businesses that I'm going to promote are my businesses. And that's just me wanting to be the best version of myself. I want to be growing myself. I don't want to be growing anyone else. That's me.
And where can these people follow you at your best self?
At Erik Jasper Kier on Instagram and also at Base Supplements.
And I'll be putting the Instagram down below, obviously. But before we wrap this up and we end this amazing hour, is there anything that you would like to say to the people?
Just take your health seriously. Take every single facet in your life seriously. They all tie in together. You're capable of literally anything that you can imagine. Keep thinking big. Don't let people impose their limitations on you because those are just limitations that other people think. The only thing that matters is what you think about yourself. Just keep up with me. Watch me unfold my own story because my mission right now is to inspire as many people. My mission is to become the most successful entrepreneur that I can be. And yeah, just don't let anyone bring you down and keep doing your thing. Believe in yourself and everything will unfold perfectly.
Absolutely. Oh, damn. That was fucking awesome. That literally ended on a fucking gem. So with that being said, guys, this has been Welshcare, and hope you guys now appreciate the new setup, especially the first new guests and the new camera angles, all this shit. Like, this is not even just the final setup. Like, I feel like every episode there's something that changes with this podcast, and I feel like that's a goal. Eventually, I want every episode to be better or look better or sound better. So next thing is gonna be up is gonna be small walls over here. So then we just have like the soundproof sounding. So it's even better quality sound. Because me as a podcast listener, like I listen to a bunch of podcasts, there's nothing that's more important to me than the quality of the sound.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that I upped from, you can see my old microphones back there, the old $20, $10, $30 ones, and I had to actually spend quality on some high quality microphones. So it's hopefully now this sounds better also. So that's the next step, is now going to get this on all the audio platforms. So all the old episodes by the end of this month will be on Spotify, Apple Music, all that's Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts as well. I'm not going to, drag that out too much here, but I just want to appreciate.
I want to come back in say like 6 months and definitely record another podcast to not only see how your setup changes, but to see how we change as well and evolve.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's find something in the future.
Yeah, we're gonna play with adjustment. There's gonna be a lot. You're gonna see a lot of future shorts coming up between our mace training and between a couple of other future endeavors with kettlebells and some other things got cooking. So with that being said, guys, it's been Welshcare. See you.
Peace out.